Hello, I'm Stephanie Eade. I'm the Senior Manager of Partner Marketing at Appian, and today we're going to be discussing the new Appian App Market Accelerators designed for the healthcare industry by Bits and Glass. Joining me today is David Hauser, who is the Appian Practice Leader at Bits and Glass, and Fritz Heimberger, who is the Vice President of Appian's Healthcare Practice. Let's discuss the new Utilization Management and Review Accelerator for payers.
Great. I can start, Fritz.
Please, absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, on the payer side, there's a big need to really ensure that the right care is given at the right time, and that's really the focus of this application.
Absolutely. So from a payer perspective, payers are constantly striving to strike that balance between ensuring that that highest level gold standard clinical quality of care is provided to their members, while also kind of contrasting that with a money-saving bent. Obviously, it is in their best interests to save as much cash as possible from having to be paid out the door, but they want to ensure, as I said, that enough is being paid out to ensure that standard of care is being provided. That said, to be able to take a look at a patient from a holistic perspective, be able to take a look at that patient from what do they truly need, from a primary care perspective, from a specialist perspective, whether they are in their primary care physician's office, whether they may be hospitalized for an acute stay, for a situation that may have arisen emergently perhaps, or post-surgery. Being able to take a look at the different folks to whom that particular patient needs to be referred from a specialty perspective, to get those referrals, those authorizations taken care of, to ensure that the most appropriate clinicians are taking care of that patient at the most appropriate time is really where Appian and Bits and Glass, utilization management and review accelerator comes into play.
Yeah.
Looking to automate that kind of decision tree flow of information rather than force the manual workflow of a clinician sitting down, ticking and tying all of those different specialty pieces, all of those different referral pieces, being able to use Appian to automate a lot of those certainly high value tasks, but somewhat mundane and repetitive tasks that could then free up that clinician to do even higher value work is really the key of what we're going for with this app.
Yeah, no, totally agree. It's important, if you think about it in the context of a clinic or emergent care environment, it's busy. There's a lot going on. They are very much multitasking between different patients that are coming in, different requests that are coming in from clinicians and physicians. And what we've tried to do is help them prioritize at some level, who to deal with first. That's really important in those types of environments as well. Try to remind the clinicians around what the organization's policy is for treatment of certain types of medical issues, right? In the heat of the moment, a lot of clinicians are really torn to get the best care to the person they're dealing with right now and move on to the queue and get to the next person. But part of what we're trying to provide in this functionality is a way for them to be reminded during the process that, hey, this is kind of the guardrails of what we recommend as an organization. And that way, we can hopefully, again, align the resources that are available to the patients.
Absolutely. One of the key things, at least in US-based healthcare, we have what's known as an observation status, right? So say you show up at an emergency room, at an emergency department, you present with a certain situation, you are, they've got a few differential diagnoses of what your issue may be, but perhaps they want to hold you for a little bit of observation. We have what's called 23-hour OBS, 23-hour observation status. So we're not going to truly admit you yet, but we do want to keep you here for a little bit just so we can keep a watchful eye on you and make sure that your situation improves, or to further or better diagnose whatever malady happens to be happening, right then and there. Utilization review and management is a lot of times used, as Dave mentioned, as those guardrails to ensure that, hey, from a billing perspective, we know that if this patient is in-house longer than 24 hours, he or she needs to be admitted. That needs to be an admitted inpatient. So a lot of times you see that patient rolling right around that 22, 23, 24-hour mark. A lot of times using those case managers within the hospital along with those case managers that may be on the payer side of the house as well. It's in their best interest to ensure that this patient is getting that top tier care possible. So making sure that those guardrails are in place for all of the different folks that have that vested patient best interests at heart, all working together towards that same positive end game. That's really the key here.
All right. You can find out more about this accelerator and more on the Appian App Market.